Hi, I'm Rachel, and this series is our chakras and our energy body. And today our focus is on chakra number 2, the sacral chakra. This spinning energy center is for creation and for pleasure. This energy center is the place where it can be said that it's the dwelling of oneself. Sacral can also translate to sweetness. It is a water element, and the color most often associated with the sacral chakra is orange, but it can also be light blue. And so, if you happen to see a light blue energy connected to this, that is the embodiment of the water element. So, just know that you may feel or see orange or light blue when focusing or working with your or someone else's sacral chakra. It is located in our lumbar spine and it's housed in your pelvic area. It is just above your root chakra. It embodies, if you are female, it embodies your ovaries and your reproductive system. This chakra creates and flows the divine feminine energy. It also creates and flows the moon lunar energy. It's the perfect chakra to work with if you're doing moon ceremonies for either manifesting, sowing seeds, or releasing. You want to remember to work with your sacral chakra and get the greatest and strongest effect with that moon cycle. It is also your pleasure center. It is a house for you to have self-pleasure, pleasure in other ways. Really, it is limitless and it is yours to create and flow with. It embodies our innate wildness, that wild and free feeling and energy that often helps us to propel forward is located and stored in this beautiful, beautiful energy center. This sacral chakra is ruled by emotions. And as you're working with the sacral chakra and working through emotions, some can be stored there and it's important to release them because something that your sacral chakra wants you to learn, to know, and to do is that all emotions are meant to be temporary. Do not store and keep them in this, as that will cause you to be off balance. It could cause you to feel sad and depressed. So it's so important that when emotions arise that you feel them, send them love, and let them move on. Don't keep them in your body, as it will misalign your energy centers. And with this one, it can misalign the one above and below it as well. So when we think about the sacral chakra, we think about the house and what is in that house. And for this one, it's about pleasure, well-being, nurturing, change, warmth, relationships, fantasies, empathy, and intimacy. And often intimacy and fantasies can coincide with each other to increase the pleasure from this amazing center. This chakra can really be thought of as the center of your own universe, the creation of life. There is no other chakra that creates life than this one. So keep that in mind to know how powerful and how important it is, whether you're wanting to create life as babies or create the life that you dream of. Use this energy center to manifest and create that life, no matter what that life is. You can use this energy to create your home, to garden, to cook. This is the perfect energy for gardening, cooking, creating, being artistic. It is perfect to use this energy to create new solutions for some old patterns that you may be ready to let go of. If you wonder how we express this chakra center as a child, we expressed it through coloring with crayons, markers, paint. That is how children use this energy. And so as we grow through life, I hope that you can look over your creative expressions and see, did you continue to grow creatively? Did you cut that center off? Where is the creation in your life now? And so if you feel like you could benefit and like maybe you want to get creative again, start coloring. There are so many amazing adult coloring books out there now for us, and crayons, crayon pencils, colored pencils. All of these things will help you restart and reconnect to this beautiful chakra energy. Often, as our children go to school, and you can think back to when you were in school, it's a flip thing where we start out coloring in our childhood and quickly that goes away to doing homework and math problems. And so naturally this energy center can be closed off. It's something that many countries it's just instilled for the education system, and so you could probably think back to this with yourself. So again, that's why I recommend coloring. But if you do have children, you may want to be aware of this and make sure that they are still having enough time for play to keep that creative center opening. They can do that again through coloring, painting, just playing as a child, and also playing is something you can do. You being playful, dancing, just anything that's lighthearted. Just think, what do kids do? And that will open up this chakra and have it to begin to clear out and flow in a much better way for you. Just try to capture that child's heart and let it lead you. The sacral chakra is a passive chakra, and what that means is that it is feminine, it is passive. So if you start to ignore it and go away from it, you probably won't notice it for a very long time, and you may not even notice it until you're listening to this video today to realize that may have been closed off for you. You may have forgotten to be using it. It is very passive, and it is an energy center that you really have to give a lot of thought to, a lot of intention for using it. In this chakra, we have the hips. And the hips are all about protection, confidence, and it also houses like how we feel about our parents, amazingly. And something I recently learned from Spirit was sometimes if you're having hip pain, hip inflation, hip discomfort, that means that you're probably carrying a lot of responsibility in life, and it is closing this off. You're not having enough freedom and playtime. So be conscious and just aware of these types of things about your body to see what you notice about yourself. The pelvis, it's about confidence and control. So are you being confident enough in your life? Are you using this pelvic energy like you can and should? Remember, this will store emotions. So what do you have stored in your pelvic and in your hips? This may be something you might want to do a meditation with the intentions to release. And know that when we release from our chakras, they have two ways to exit our body, and that is through your feet or through your heart. So you may feel the movement in your hips or your pelvic, and that's something that you can pay attention to and notice, where did it release from. I find that very interesting to see how people release something and where it goes for them. Remember, it's going to go out your feet or out your heart, so make sure you flow this energy and intend to clear that entire pathway. And as many of you may know, one of my passions are past lives. And what we've discovered through meditation and with spirit guidance is that past lives are also stored in your sacral chakra. So when we do a lot of past life work, and you're working through things, you may be learning about something, and a lot of past lives are very fun and interesting. Some past lives can have a lot of trauma and hurt, and so you have to see what is in those lives, and if you've carried any of that forward, it could have carried forward. Do you have a chronic hip pain or hip problems, or it could have carried forward and you have reproductive problems? So this is an opportunity for you to again clear out these old energies that sometimes just naturally follow us through to the next life. So keep that in mind, okay? This stores a lot of memories along with energy from this life. If you've had a traumatic experience as a child, most children have not released that. They carry it through life, and that would be stored here as well. So we've got a lot of things that can be stored in our pelvic and hips that we may not even be aware of. That's important for us to focus, to release that, and to let that go. And of course, if you've had any sexual traumas, any body shaming, feminine power assault in any way, if you were burned at the stake in another life, all of that can be stored in this chakra. And again, if you've had, sexual traumas or feminine assaults, either this life or other lives, it can still be there. So it might be something that you want to explore, to learn more about, so that as you learn about it, you can let it go if you would like. This chakra can be balanced, it can be aligned, and when it is, here are some things that you're going to notice. You're going to notice, you're going to experience more passion, more joy, more harmony. You're going to have like a more emotional and intelligence. And what that means is your emotional responses, you're going to notice that they're growing, they're more intelligent than maybe they were before. You're going to have more controlled responses, more just maybe not outbursts, maybe just be able to voice healthily that you're not okay with that. So that's an intelligent emotional response is what that's referring to. You're going to learn to have healthy boundaries. The more that this chakra is worked with and aligned, you're going to have these healthy boundaries. You're going to be able to speak up and put these boundaries out there for yourself. You're going to have more functional, healthy relationships, whether that's with your children, your family, your partner, your coworkers. It doesn't matter what kind. It doesn't have to be a sexual relationship. It doesn't have to be, like that. It can be any type of relationship that is going to be more functional and just better in so many ways. It's going to be more well-rounded. And keep in mind, just because you're aligning your chakras and you're balancing, it may not mean that other people are. But again, remember, you're going to have more emotional, intelligent responses. You're going to be able to move with more ease. Our spine and our hips, they're all together. And this area of our spine, right below it, it's fused. And so the more you work with this chakra, the more that you work with it and balance it and clear it, you're going to find that you have more mobility in this region. You're going to walk more freely. You're going to be stretching more freely. You should have less back pain if that is something that you notice in your life. So these things are all going to improve. When this chakra is being balanced and coming into alignment, you're going to notice that you're able to embrace change more easily. And you're going to know that you have the right to feel pleasure. And when we think about this, it is not necessarily sexual pleasure. It certainly can be, but it also means the pleasures in life, more enjoyable, more content, more harmony, laughter, all these things. That is pleasure, and you're going to learn to feel pleasure in so many more things, in so many more ways as you work and balance this chakra. And so those are the perks of it. And if you're wondering, well, I wonder what's going on if I'm imbalanced. How do I know if I'm not balanced right now? Am I unbalanced? And some of those things can be, you could have, if you're a woman, painful menstrual cycles. You could have a sexual dysfunction, and that could be man or woman. You could have, as a woman, reproductive issues, lower back pain, addictions. You could be overly sensitive. You could be codependent in nature. You might have dysfunctional relationships right now. You could have depression, anxiety. You could have fear of change, and that could be with any type of change. You could just be fearful of it, just really reserved and isolated from it because it's just not something that you feel like you can grasp onto right now. You could have lack of desire. You could have poor boundaries, emotional instability. These are things that will tip you off to a sacral chakra imbalance. And so we're gonna let's talk about some things that we can do to bring this into alignment to better your life. One of the greatest things that we can do for this chakra is to use water. It is a water element chakra, and so you can get in the water and swim, float therapy, just float. You could sit next to the water. You could sit and put your feet in the water. You could take a shower with those intentions of cleansing and balancing the chakra. You could take a bath. Anything that works with water is something that will improve this, and you just set your intentions on what you want it to do, to release, to balance, to align, to enhance. Those are some intentions that you can have. So working with water, be okay with starting over. That's another thing. Find peace with starting over. Don't fear the change. Be okay with something new coming. Whether it even involves life and death, those are things that can also hinder this chakra. Just don't have that fear of it. If you're on your spiritual journey and learn about these things, is that that is a transition period, and try to wrap your thoughts around that as life is life and death is just a change in life. So if that's something you fear, that may be something that you want to focus on with some meditation. Another way to balance this and enhance it is get in touch with yourself and your emotions. Feel what they are. Quit pushing them away. Quit pushing them away. You might cry. You might scream. You might get angry, and that's okay. Feel those emotions. Be aware, acknowledge them, and then send it love and have the intent to let that go. And watch them leave your body. You'll feel them leave from you. A thing that can help this chakra is having a healthy sex life. If you're single, you can still do that. You can have sex with yourself. This may be an uncomfortable conversation for some, and I apologize if it is, but that is the nature of this chakra. It wants to use this pleasure center. So use it by yourself or use it with your partner and enhance that. Let that creativity flow in that area. Honor and respect your body in doing this. And some breathing tips like this also will help this chakra. It's your left nostril. Breathing helps to open your sacral. So you might want to close off your right chakra and just breathe in and out through your left chakra for a couple minutes a day. And that's just an example, just gentle breathing. If you can do 30 seconds or 2 minutes, notice how it changes the energy in your body. And it's directly, and you can think of even too about breathing to and from your pelvis if that's something that you can think about. And if you can just do 8 to 10 breaths, you're going to notice a difference. So that's something that you can be doing. Other things that you can do to really work this chakra center is dance, movement, walking. I'm talking about easy stuff. If you are, more advanced in these areas, you could do harder yoga, more advanced yoga, or running or aerobics. If you're just looking for something calming, that's not hard for you, there's lots of mild yoga. There is just walking. There is just a subtle dance that you can do through your house or out in your yard or along the sidewalk. Don't be afraid to move around. Meditation, there's guided meditations, there's mindfulness meditations. There's all types of things like this that's freely available to us, or you could even work with someone one-on-one and do something designed specifically for your needs. There's Reiki flow. You can do Reiki flow for balancing, aligning. You can also do Reiki flow for enhancements. Those are types of Reiki that I offer. So if you're looking for a Reiki practitioner, you may want to ask them what type of Reiki that they can offer for you that would help this chakra. There are chakra balancing. I really love Reiki flow enhancement sessions. I love to see the results of those. You can do mantra chanting, and for this one, it's VAM. Just Vam. Vam. And just do that a few times and you'll feel that energy shift in your sacral chakra. The colors that go with this, as I mentioned, orange and light blue. Some favorite crystals, gems, or minerals, if you like to work with crystals or like to surround yourself with crystals, can be amber, carnelia, orange calcite, hematite even. I have a beautiful mala on today. You can tell that it's like orange and yellow, just those beautiful warm tones for this energy center. If you like fragrance, oils, incense, things like that, you're going to want to grab some patchouli or ylang-ylang, sage, jasmine, orange scent, or even rose will all enhance and work with this beautiful chakra. And so when working with a chakra and growing it and healing it, one big thing to remember is just to learn to let go. Learn to let go of emotional baggage. Learn to let go of old patterns. These things will weigh you down and it closes off that chakra. All those things that we just talked about. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about your beautifully amazing sacral chakra and just how important it is for you and your body. I will see you in our next segment when we are talking about our life force energy. Have a good day.